Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cardfight Cash, your weekly update on all things Vanguard and money. So, with me here, this is the Doombringer Griffin. I have the Irish God. How are you doing, Keith?
Doing grand, Ryan. How about yourself?
Fantastic. All right, it is our standard night, so if you're looking for premium, check out our previous video, or if you're watching this a little bit behind, next week. If you can see into the future, hey, maybe maybe you'll be better at this than I am at some point. So Keith, we've been seeing a lot of really interesting spoilers recently for EBO7 now that that season is here upon us, and it looks like prices are going up every time there's a spoiler for these clans. Nova Grappler and Kagero seeing some serious support, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes, exactly, Ryan. And I think, given the new support, we also had the spiciest of leaks with Dragonic Overlord, the End, no less. Probably one of the most famous Kagero units of all time.
That's one way to increase Bari prices, and yet surprisingly they haven't yet. So pick up your copies now. Well,
Yeah.
we'll get into detail on these things as we go, but let's start out with the good old Q4 set. And as you might have expected, because of the reprint, King of Knights Alfred, the poster boy, is now $11. Now that you can get him in fairly low rarity and fairly high quantity, he's now taken a miss on the value train. He got off on his stop a while ago, it seems.
Yeah, he's really started to play second fiddle. I mean, not even apart from the reprint. He's only really in there as a support VR for the new, I never remember his name. What is it? Monarch Alfred, the big one that's from Miyagi Academy?
Yeah, the Great Wall.
Yes, that's right. The house himself. And then we have so much more extra royal support coming in, like the blaster support and another set of royals, I think, sometime after that. So the glut of royal support is really just having this guy trend down.
And trend down he has. Next to him, seeing a little bit of a drop off is Waterfall, down a couple bucks, to be expected every time a new Kagero boss comes out. I don't feel like we'll be replacing Waterfall anytime soon, but it really just depends on Dote, and it's probably another good little while until we see what he does.
Yeah, I think that if you still need your waterfalls, they're at a perfectly serviceable price right now. And the card, of course, is waterfall. It just wins games. So it's never really a bad pickup, in my opinion.
Slam him down and go for gold. Pay your 20
Yeah.
bucks now. Miss Mist is also taking just a little bit of a tumble. We spoke about this 2 weeks ago. She was 750, then 679. Now it's 650, so she's trending down slowly. OTT support has trickled out. The deck is still very good, but not seeing as many tops now. And as much as she probably deserves her price point or deserved it at one point, seems like she's also starting to become a little bit more reasonable and joining her peers down in the threes and fours hopefully quite soon. Airmo and Berserk Dragon are holding strong at their prices for now, 6 and 7 respectively. They've gone up just a little bit, a few cents here and there, and Bari is 340, just as he was last time. So these Kagero cards are pretty much just lying in wait to see what the new support does. If anything gets replaced, it'll bottom out near immediately, but these cards they're really good. So I don't feel like they'll take an absolute pass here, especially not Bari. Bari's almost certainly going to go up. Buy them now if you don't have them, or trade into Kagero now if you want it, because the value is just going to go up on investments like these.
Oh yeah. The fact that Bari is still only $3 has me absolutely surprised, given how quickly the Vanguard community moves on reveals of cards. And we know Dote is coming. That is a fact of life that he is going to be in this set. So pick them up now. $3, you're getting your playset for you'd say like $13 and change, basically. That is a steal, in my opinion, to get your playset.
That is super good. But what has, really been stolen here recently is Twin Blader. He stole a full $5 in value for himself easily. Up from $2 2 weeks ago, just 2 weeks ago, to 7 now. If you need Twin Bladers, you're sad. You're super
Yeah,
sad.
yeah. Twin Bladers hype has come and gone with the sets. We've seen just about every Nova Grappler unit, I think, from EVO7 that is relevant. We've seen the new Illuminal Dragon, which looks absolutely amazing. The hero support actually looks very cool and very different. So it's not a surprise to me at all that we've already seen good old Twin Blader trend all the way up like he has.
And there's unlikely to be a reprint. Super sad. Guess we got a $7 Twin Bladers. If you've been hoarding
Yep.
those, you're very happy. And now, moving on to VBTO2, it really seems like Murakumo is the only thing in this set that's still going up in value, whereas everything else, despite the performance of Shadow Paladins, the prices are starting to bottom out. Keith, do you think this is just a matter of the prices were too high to begin with, and people who have shadows are the ones who wanted shadows?
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment, Ryan. The Shadows players now have their Shadows support, and we're not going to see Shadows again until I think it's August for Japan, and then obviously a little bit later for us. It's going to be a little while now for Shadows, and they kind of have to deal with what they have in the incoming meta. So the deck is obviously very good, but it's now going to have to contend with multiple sets of support, and the cards themselves will probably trend down as a result. We might see PBD hit the 25 range. The Shadow Paladin draw PG will probably stay around $2 to $3 just because it's a draw PG. But the prices right now, they don't really surprise me too much.
Well, just an update on those prices for you. PBD is down $4 to around 30. The PGs have all taken a little bit of a slide, $1 here and there. Kumo's draw PG is actually down despite Zanbaku actually being up a bit. And Pale Moon and DI are exactly where you think they are. They're $1 each. No surprise there. Absolutely none. As well as the VRs, if you're not PBD, you're pretty cheap unless you're Zanbaku. Zanbaku is quite happy with his current price, I think, and all the results he's been putting up.
Yeah, it helps when the meta is literally based around rewriting grade 3s and having a mechanic that says no to that.
Who knew the counter would actually work this time?
Yeah.
VBTO3 slides across the board. Really, we talked up K and Bedivere extensively last time, and our advice of picking those up still holds. They are still only $4. Bedivere is actually down to $3. So if you're looking for an investment in the Royal Paladin market, those cards are still quite ridiculous. We recommend picking those up.
Yeah, you really cannot go wrong with the K Bedivere combo. That thing is absolutely absurd and gives you so much advantage on the grade 2 game.
And we were also talking about standard Nubatama being a super cheap pickup. It's getting cheaper. Gale has dropped the dollar. They might have traded it with Nuba PG, who is now up to $250, although I don't see a big change there. It's really just these cards are sliding out because of this new support. I mean, when Kagerou's dominant, it tends to be dominant, and getting two sets of support directly in a row will do that to a market, I think, personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really sad for Nubatama because the deck is already not very good. So you could pretty much build this entire deck for less than $40, if I'm not mistaken, from doing the math. So it is a nice deck if you want to pick it up and sit on it, because it does have guaranteed support. It won't be soon, but with the prices are the way they are now, if you like the deck, I would honestly just pick it up and mess around with it at locals.
Yeah, if you're not willing to spend $30 on an investment like this, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Interesting. VBTO4, moving on. Great Hole down to 2270. Who knew that this card would go down in value after not doing very well as a Link Joker support?
Yeah, it's honestly surprising that he held his 25 for as long as he did. I guess he saw a little bit of premium success, but still, the fact that this card is, I think he has much room, Ryan, to go down even further than he has. Like, if he's not by $18, I'd say in the next month or two, I'd be very surprised.
I was going to say 15 in 2 months, so we're right on the money there.
Oh, yeah.
Can us two really be wrong? Can we?
Yeah.
I don't know. But good news if you're looking to pick up Link Joker's staples for Brant on the horizon or Messiahs. The Link Joker draw PG is now 671, down from 8. Opener of Dark Gates is at 545, so pretty respectable stuff here. Recommend trading into these. They're just a little bit annoying on the price side, but definitely pick these up now before Brant sees the light of day. He's doing okay in Japan. I think people are still figuring him out, but from our testing, Keith, he looks like a really solid option. And these cards
Oh
are
yeah,
absolutely necessary.
yeah. You definitely want these two cards, and even if Rand doesn't make a huge splash in the meta, which I would be surprised to not see him top every now and again, it is certified by me the most fun Vanguard deck I've played in many, many months and probably years.
You heard it here first, folks. Keith had fun playing Vanguard.
That is right.
Why is that, Keith? Why should people pick up Brant and look at getting these cards now if they're interested?
Well, I just think, Ryan, that we have back-to-back guaranteed support for Link Joker. Regardless, you are going to run the draw PGs in either Messiahs, the Deleters, or Brant. So pick them up if you want to build any one of these four decks. Opener of Dark Gates is also just a great grade one that I would reasonably predict will be in all of these decks. We already saw it in Deleters. I currently run it in Brand and think it's a great card. And then for Messiahs as well, I couldn't see them not playing just a unit that gets you another dude.
I mean, Messiahs do need dudes. That is
Yeah.
that is a condition of their gameplay right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so a couple more things in VBTO4. Shiryuki now up to 8, along with the General Murakumo climb, Hearns and Baku specifically. And the Dunce Cap Award goes to End of Stage, now at 274. Is it even worth picking these up, Keith? I mean, there's almost no way they can't go up next time Pale Moon gets support, right?
Yeah, I mean that's got to be the floor at this point, right, Ryan? Like, I mean, maybe $2. I would, if you think you could just pick up, a set of 8 or 10 of these and just try to flip them, it might not be terrible. I'd even take a look at the SBRs because they're going for $7.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is absolutely something to look at. When you can get high rarity stuff for $7, I mean, I've been sad on investments like that before, but still, it's got to go up in price. They just have
Yeah,
to, right?
yeah, and I mean, at that point, the floor isn't going to be zero. This isn't stocks. Cards don't go bankrupt. So you'll probably get at least some amount of value, or you can just trade with them and probably get equivalent trade value for what they're worth.
Yeah, at the very least, if you spend $30 on a set of end of stages, you'll be okay. Someone's going to want them.
Yes.
Someone's going to get into Pale Moon and be like, oh, I want a high rarity disc because it's cheap, and suddenly you'll be there. Knight in Shining Armor with your 4 SVR end of stages. Now, Keith, here's something that's going to make you very happy. VEBO1 actually seeing some price decreases. Machining Mantis is now at $5, down from his 8 to 11 previously. The floor has finally opened up on Machining Mantis. How do you feel about this?
Feeling pretty good, Ryan, because I actually need to replace one that I traded in Atlanta. So that is something that needs to happen for myself. So I am quite glad that I can pick it up for not a crazy price of $11.
Now's your time, Keith. Go in, do it. Have yourself a good time. If you're looking for value on future support, VEBO1 is definitely your set. Meg Colony Draw PG, $1. Archbird, $1.50. Spike Brother Draw PG, 74 cents. You know what? I'm adding these to cart right now. I'm picking these up right now. 74 cents for a perfect card, and we haven't seen any reprints come through yet. I don't know if Bushi would pull the rug out from under me, but still, for $3, I can have a set of these, and it could possibly go up to 3 or 4 each. That's the way you make money in this game, right there.
Yeah, that is an absurd price for what this, because this, again, we have guaranteed support for this clan. It is not a dream. This thing will be getting support by the end of the year. And picking these up for 75 cents, pretty sure you are never going to lose out at that price.
Almost certainly not. Hey, Keith, you want to spec? Let's spec. Machining Hornet right now.
Let's go.
$1.21. $1.21 on Machining Hornet. What are we looking at here? It's looking like you can pick up the entire Meg Colony deck for super cheap right now, just like you can Nubatama. And it's still pretty okay, honestly. It has a combo finisher that's not terrible. Its draw game is pretty awesome, and the deck is super cheap with guaranteed support.
Yeah, that's right. Like, I would not be disappointed at all. And then just run these at locals until you get support or mess around at the kitchen table with your friends. Like, obviously, they're not going to be decks that are going to win you a regionals, but I think there's some merit in just having a deck to sit on until new support is announced if you like it.
Exactly. So if you've been thinking about cheap Protect clans that just didn't make the grade the first time, they might come back around. That's our advice to you. VBUBO2 slides. They're just heading down. Although the Grand Blue Draw PG is $11. I'm going to need to
Whoa,
confirm on that. Why? Why is that?
that is a little absurd to me. I
Somebody.
guess there's a lot of Grand Blue hype.
Ah, yes. Grand Blue hype in the wake of double Kagero support and Link Joker.
Yes. No, I maybe there's someone out there is waiting for their Night Rose and is just so ready for that card to appear again.
So ready. They they are they are sitting there with bated breath, hoping for Night Rose to make an appearance.
uh,
VEBO3, holding its value nice and steady, actually. Angel Feathers Draw PG is $2, not a bad pickup if you ask me. All the VRs are around 25 because all three are still solid clans, surprise, surprise. Now, this is what an extra booster looks like right here. Is nice and even value across the board. Doesn't matter what you pull, you're pretty happy.
yeah, this is really just a product of the fact that the supply was so damn low on EBO3. So all of these cards are just retaining value incredibly well.
And it really does speak to the quality of these decks that all of them just continue to either grow. I mean, Cecilia went from like 20 to 25 just recently. Now
Hmm.
that happened really quickly. And with its good performances, we knew how good the deck was. We absolutely knew that, but people are really starting to catch on. And if you look on Vanguardians, it's just straight up people buying and selling Neo Nectar decks like no tomorrow. So the value is only going up.
Uh-huh.
I
That was
would be
very true.
surprised if it's one of the more expensive VRs from season one just sitting there because it's so good. And finally, for VEBO4, welcome to the good yet budget place. This isn't, you can kitchen table all you want, but if you're looking for something that'll actually, like, possibly win you something, but not cost you an arm and a leg, you've come to the right place. Himiko, the Genesis VR, is $14. Mystery Flare Dragon from Gear Chronicle, $12.50, and Leopold is $15. These decks are looking pretty affordable, all things considered. I mean, Lost Legend is $9, Binoculus Tiger is $10. The Genesis Draw PG has come down under $5. The other PGs are $3 and $1.50 each. These are, I wouldn't say bleeding value for no reason. They just seem to be coming under control. And if you're
But
looking
yeah,
for just a decent deck, look no further,
yeah,
really.
this is really like if you want something a little bit more competitive than the Mega Colony and Nubatama decks that we were talking about earlier, this is where to look for because you're going to pick up a perfectly serviceable deck for under $100, and I think that is a great price to pick up something that's going to do well.
And if the pass is anything to go by, if you want a deck that really sleeps on, it just holds value over time for really no good reason, Great Nature is super good at that. Binoculus Tiger used to be $20 like the old one. Crayon Tiger is still really expensive for no good reason,
Yeah,
despite the fact that I think he got reprinted. So this deck is like immune to price loss for whatever reason. It's super good. And the combo potential is so high that random cards spike up at really interesting times. So it's not a bad premium investment either.
yeah, I think you're always going to look pretty satisfied with any of these options.
Absolutely agree with you. And with that, Keith, we've pretty much reached the end of our news here. Any predictions going forward on what to pick up other than the 15 things we already mentioned in this episode?
Yeah, of all the recommendations we've already given, Ryan, is there anything else to recommend picking up at this point? I think one big thing is making sure your G zones are sorted out for your premium decks because we are starting to get premium collection spoilers and the quote unquote nation strides, which aren't exactly quite nation strides, but the support is looking really damn good for some clans. I think you definitely want your G zone in place for if you want to play some premium.
Let that be a warning to you. And if you'd like more news on premium, again, check us out last week, check us out next week, and we'll be back then. But for any of your pickups, look no further than the Magic Satchel. They're our sponsor. We get most, if not all, of our cards from them when possible. Super quick service, super professional, and nothing but good experiences from us. Of course, he somewhat pays us to say that, but still, would we lie to you? I don't think so. So thank you for watching Cardfight Cash. This has been the Doombringer Griffin.
Yep, and the Irish God.
Signing off. Thanks for joining us. Peace.